Colored Pencil Basics, Lesson 4, Burnishing. In this lesson, students will identify the basic working properties of colored pencils using burnishing, and then create different effects using burnishing of different specific colored pencils. Alright, let's practice some burnishing concepts here. Now, one of the things you probably want to do right away before you really get started on burnishing is to sharpen your colored pencils. You're going to need your sharpener, and you're going to have to sharpen them because you're going to be pressing pretty hard and wearing those colors down. So I've got my my blending sample practice that I worked on, and you can use practice sheets that you've used previously. So I can go in with this blue and green, and I can start really pressing this down and really getting that green to cover all those little white spaces in the paper. Okay, and you can see that that's going to take down my green colored pencil pretty quick. And I can do that along with the blue here, and we can see how intense that blue is going to get. And I can start blending the two together. Now, if I do a little lighter with the blue to start with, and not press so heavy to begin with, I can continue to blend these pencils and blend these colors together to get an even richer intermediate color. And just keep going back and forth with them. I can add a third color if I really wanted to. You know, what happens if I add white to this? That white's going to start pulling up some of the other colors and blending in with them, so I can create a good range. So what if I just took the white over instead of on top of the burnished colors already and just went over a set of colors? Now it's going to start smearing those colors together, and I'm pressing pretty hard over here. You can see that blue start to get really rich and light. It starts to almost start looking like paint. And that's the waxiness that's in the pencils themselves that's covering all those and digging into all those little holes in the paper and flattening out and burnishing, flattening out the surface of the paper. Okay, so we can do that with white. We can also do this with black, and this is a really cool thing that you can do. And I've got this black and it's turning everything gray. And you don't have to do this just with black, but I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do. Is you can take an X-Acto knife, little hobby knife there, and you can actually scrape away some of that layer. And I'm doing it with the black so you can see a little more dramatically what it'll do. But it'll work on the white, it'll work on the colors as well. And you can do some hatch marks to create small designs, add highlights in there. All right, shake that off a little bit. You're going to get some crumbs on your paper from this. The last item I want to show you is the colorless blender. So this is pretty cool stuff. Okay, and what this is it's a colored pencil without any color. So what it'll do is it's just going to blend the colors together that you already have on the paper without adding more color, as we see here, or turning it lighter or darker. This is just taking the color you already have. Now I can go back in over the others, and you can see that turns that grayish color, and that's that blue and orange. Okay, so for your challenge for this piece. You're going to take your previous blending exercises, and we're going to go back into them first, and you can choose whichever block you want to work with. The first one you're going to do is you're going to use the actual colors that you used and blended. In this case, I had blue and green, and I'm going to burnish those together. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is the colorless blender. This is the actual colorless blender that I've got here, and you can see that this is, we'll pull that up. The third one we're going to do is white. Burnish half the section with white. And finally, choose a section. Your last section is going to be gone over with black. I want you to burnish it with black, but then I want you to scrape away a design, a small pattern with it. All right. And there you go. Do not forget to label the back will already be labeled, wouldn't it? With your name, class, and date. But I would like you to add the extra date that you are turning this in for burnishing. Good luck. All right, for the first part of this, you will practice using 9x12 drawing paper. Burnish different colors for different effects. You can use practice papers that you have used previously. Your challenge is to go back into the blending exercises for this challenge. You are going to use burnishing to enhance each of the sections on that assignment. In one section, you will burnish half of the section with the colors you originally used to create the section. The second one, you will burnish half of the section with the colorless blending pencil. Third, you will burnish half of the section with white. And fourth, you will burnish half of the section with black. However, you will then scrape a design through the black colored pencil using a hobby knife to reveal the colors underneath. You will have already labeled the back of the paper with your name, class, and date, but add the extra date for this particular assignment. Good luck.